I'm glad you could join me today. I want to talk to you about a very interesting topic, and that's the right to remain silent. A lot of clients will come to me and say, Mike, in a situation where I've been accused of something and I'm innocent, what should I do? Shouldn't I talk to the police and give them my version of events? Well, the very simple answer to that is no. This is a very important right in Canada. And I'm going to give you an example. You're charged with, I don't know, let's say you're charged with domestic assault and you maintain your innocence. You say that your spouse, your husband or wife is making this story up as a revenge motive or some motive to lie. And you're truthfully innocent, not just reasonable doubt, but you know you're innocent. People in that situation, they really feel compelled when they're brought into police custody and the police give them a chance to tell their story. They say, well, I've got to tell my story now. Isn't this the time to tell my story? Again, the answer is no. What happens is, yes, you're telling the truth on the video, but the problem is you don't have the police reports, you don't have the disclosure. The police aren't your friends. They're not there to help you, and they're not going to change their mind based on your version of events. The other problem is you're going to tell your story under a situation of stress. You're never going to be able to get the whole story out truthfully, like accurately, I should say, the same way every time. So for example, on day one, when you meet with the police, there's a videotape of it. You tell a 10-minute version of events. Once you see that video, you go, geez, I forgot to say this. I forgot to say that. That's inconsistent. I was under stress. I didn't have the full version of events. It's a disaster waiting to happen when, especially for an innocent person, truthfully innocent person, to talk to the police and give a statement. Exercise your right to remain silent under Section 7. The police have techniques. They have the read technique. They can break your story down even when you are innocent, and you don't want to go down that path. They're not your friends. They'll pretend you're their friends. They'll play good cop and bad cop. They have all sorts of techniques, and you want to avoid that. You want to, in that interview, you want to say, look, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I am saying nothing. And you keep repeating that until they give up. They may not give up for a couple hours, especially on an important case. They may say, well, that's what all lawyers say. Now is your opportunity to give your version of events. Look, this is not the schoolyard or you've been confronted by someone, in that situation where someone's accusing you of doing something, say in the schoolyard when you're a kid or your parent and you know you're innocent. If you don't say something, you look guilty. That's not the situation in law. A judge never gets to hear that videotape. Right to remain silent, Section 7. It's something that a lot of people don't understand, and they just won't accept the advice. Even when the lawyer tells them this, they still feel compelled to testify. And I'm going to say about 50% of people, even when they're told by a lawyer not to say anything, break down in that interview. Put your head down in the interview, say nothing, ask for a lawyer. You're entitled to a lawyer too. They'll give you a lawyer. The lawyer's going to tell you the same thing that I am. Don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. 50% of you are going to talk because it's just that human nature. I've got to express my innocence. If someone's guilty, they shouldn't talk either because maybe they don't have evidence to prove your guilt. You don't have to prove your guilt. You're not compelled to, give evidence against yourself. So just shut up, exercise your right to silence, and exercise your right to call a lawyer to get the advice you're hearing again from another lawyer. 50% of you aren't going to believe me. 50% of you are going to talk, and it's the wrong thing to do. Believe me. That's the video tip of the day. Thank you for joining me today.